Lumalee is the helpful Luma that sells you items in the Super Mario Galaxy games, but from this point onwards will forever be associated with his nihilistic demeanour in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. This character is certainly not an obvious choice for a starring role, which highlights just how deep into Mario's history the creative team were willing to go. Initially, it may just seem as though this shocking personality was slapped onto a cute baby star for comedic effect, but today I want to dive into why a psychotic Luma actually makes perfect sense.
There's no escape. The only hope is the sweet relief of death.
Whoa! Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
We could already speculate on the mystical nature of Lumas based on the narrative and dialogue found in Mario Galaxy, but we now have Lumalee as a fully fleshed out and voiced character, and although the Mario movie takes place in a separate canon to the games, we can take elements from the Luma's original backstory and apply it to the character here. Once you do that, things actually start to make an awful lot of sense. Lumas are baby stars, sometimes referred to as star children. It's unknown how long they naturally live because they seem more than happy to sacrifice themselves at any given opportunity. In Super Mario Galaxy, a red Luma explains, "Our destiny as Lumas is to transform into different things. Stars, comets, planets, we can become all of these things." Lumalee perceives death as positive, as this is the true purpose of Lumas in the universe, with their current form being merely a temporary state. In Rosalina's storybook, the original Luma that young Rosalina had bonded with throughout the story sacrifices himself so that Rosalina and the other Lumas can continue on their journey. He dives into the ground beneath them and through the power of sheer will erupts into powerful bands of light twisting together to form a comet tail. The storybook explains, "And then Luma emerged, reborn as a comet." This is a bittersweet moment, as although Luma essentially creates the Comet Observatory as a gesture to help Rosalina on her travels, I don't think he accounted for the fact that seeing your best friend explode right in front of you would be trauma-inducing. It's the other Lumas that reassure her that this is perfectly normal and that they all aspire to do so one day. We see the Lumas' willingness to die constantly throughout Mario Galaxy as they explode to become launch stars and sometimes entire galaxies just to help Mario progress, right up until the ultimate sacrifice at the end of the game. If we break down this emotional scene, we have Mario watching in shock and horror as his friend waves goodbye, realizing in that moment that he'll never see him again. But Luma knows otherwise, happily chirping as he hurtles into the black hole. As it transpired, Mario and Luma would indeed be reunited following the rebirth of the universe. But this interaction reinforces how trivial life is to Lumas as opposed to other life forms. Rosalina reaffirms this at the end of the game, explaining to a bewildered Mario that when stars die, they turn to stardust and scatter across the cosmos. Eventually, that stardust reforms to make a new star, and so the cycle of life continues. So a casual attitude towards death has been a quality of the Lumas this entire time, though it's unknown if their consciousness even lives on in these various transformations. As far as we know, this is the end for them, but they're happy about that because not only are they helping their friend, but they've been raised by Rosalina to believe this is their ultimate goal and purpose. If you translate these traits from the games, you essentially get Lumalee. You may initially think a Luma would be characterized as cute and innocent, but as we've learned, they are deep creatures who understand the ways of the universe more than any other, with the creation and destruction of life being a central aspect of their very existence. As can happen with any religion that glorifies death, individuals can begin to fantasize about dying and view their current life as meaningless. We see these exact traits from Lumalee in the movie, the twist of course being that he isn't deluded and likely will go on to explode into a comet or something. The quote, "In an insane world, it is the sane who is called crazy," is not only grammatically incorrect, which I love because he's a baby, but reinforces the higher level of knowledge that Lumas have despite their infancy. Additionally, his attitude, and specifically laughter, implies that he does not perceive Bowser's army as a threat and is amused at the prospect of them trying to harm him. Lumas are cosmic beings beyond the understanding of most, so if harmed, there's every chance he could have exploded into a galaxy-sized supernova on the spot. Relative to such immense power, Bowser's schemes are once again trivial by comparison. The remark that time, like hope, is an illusion initially seems a stereotypical existential quote, but the passage of time and the illusion of hope is actually a central theme of Rosalina's storybook, with Rosalina and Luma travelling for untold amounts of time in the hopes of finding their parents. It's implied many hundreds of years pass, and yet they never do succeed. This is the tragedy of Rosalina's character. We also know that she would go on to read the Lumas this very story, so it's reasonable to assume that all Lumas would take on these pretty bleak values. As for why Lumalee specifically was chosen, I think the unique design with this sort of twirl on his head helps to distinguish him, whilst actually having a mouth allows the character to speak already without any design changes. Additionally, he's one of the only Lumas to have a unique name, with the only other characters we know of being Polarai and Lubba. But I do want to point out it's ironic that Lumalee went from selling life mushrooms in Mario Galaxy to literally promoting death in the film. If any other Lumas are introduced in a potential sequel, I have a feeling they'll still have Lumalee stand out as this particularly troubled individual, as it makes for a really entertaining and memorable character, who somehow embodies that Mario Galaxy vibe all on his own, appearing cute and colourful on the surface whilst actually being very, very deep. Hopefully this video's highlighted just how faithful Lumalee's character actually is to the source material. It's always interesting to try and find meaning within the lore of these games, and even more so now that we can apply some of this to brand new theatrical Mario characters, which is still crazy to say. So if you enjoyed, please leave your thoughts down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.